Hey everybody, today's episode might contain subjects and stories that could be disturbing to some viewers or listeners. Lots of what is discussed is about domestic violence, which is a sensitive but very important issue. If you or somebody you know needs help, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. 799-7233. That's 800-799-7233. And listener discretion is advised. This episode of Your Morning Drive is brought to you by Fireworks Co-working. They are a creative co-working space located in Marietta, Georgia, focused on supporting the local community and uplifting creative entrepreneurs. If you want to try out this beautiful space, this podcast room is just one of the many available rooms and spaces available for you and your company to work at. If you want to try them, you can. Use code DRIVE at checkout and you'll get a free day pass. So, if you're working from home, if you're working at an office that you don't have to go to, if you're tired of working at your kitchen table where you have to listen to your kids or your spouse or the lawn people in the outside cutting the grass and it's too loud for your Zoom meetings. Well, you don't have to worry about that. You can try out Fireworks Co-working in Marietta, Georgia. It's right down the street from Kennestone Hospital. They are the presenting sponsor of Your Morning Drive. They offer me a beautiful space for me to be able to record my podcast with all of the creators, business owners, and other individuals that I get the pleasure of interviewing, and they can be your home too. So either go to the space, tour the place with the staff, tell them Logan Lewis from Your Morning Drive sent you, or if you're booking online, again, use code DRIVE, DRIVE, for a free day pass to try the space. Your Morning Drive is also present to us by Good Days Canned Cocktails. Good Days are a classic cocktail brand created in a convenient, ready-to-drink canned format for any occasion, whether it's a pool day, a boat day, a beach day, a graduation, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, anything in between. Good Days are there for you. Good Days are ahead when they are in your cooler, your fridge, your anything in between. Good Days has your back. If you want to be one of the first to try their drink, you can do so by visiting drinkgooddays.com/pages/find-us to find a store near you selling their drink. Of course, you must be 21 years of age to consume and purchase. Welcome back to another episode of Your Morning Drive. I am Logan. I'm your host for today. We are in the Fireworks studio in Marietta, Georgia. We are super excited to have you with us. Before we get into our show today, if you enjoy what I'm doing here, do me a favor and share it with just one friend that needs this podcast in their life to start their day. You can send them a link to listen on Apple or Spotify if they choose to listen, or you can send them a full-length link for YouTube as well if they choose to watch us have conversations. Whatever platform you do send them, make sure that you and them subscribe on that platform of choice. So no matter when the episodes drop, you are not going to miss one single episode. Maybe hit that little ding on YouTube so that you're notified when an episode drops. And don't forget, of course, to leave a review. If you could do so, please, 5 stars. If you think it's 5-star worthy, if you don't, let me know. I'd love to keep growing and keep making it as good and as engaging as possible. For even more ways to stay connected, do me a favor and follow on the socials: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. There you'll find show updates, episode announcements, and fun clips to keep you entertained. My guest today is an old friend from college. Since college, she has become an Atlanta-based singer-songwriter with a focus on R&B and a flair for versatility. She aims to create unconventional music that tells a story and sparks emotion. Self-taught in the guitar and the piano, she weaves these skills into her songs to paint vivid cinematic experiences for the listeners. Her music is a voice for women, empowering them to feel sexy, heard, and unapologetically expressive, even if that means embracing anger or vulnerability. More recently, she has experienced some things in life that bring her on the show to tell a very powerful story. Please welcome my friend, Maya Lańet.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, man, it's been a minute.
Time, Lord.
But I find it funny that regardless of how much time has passed, we still stayed following each other on the socials, interacted every once in a while, just like, hey, love what you're doing. Congrats on this. Congrats on that.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because I feel like I don't talk to anybody from college at all, right?
I understand. I feel like when I meet people, especially since, being in college, I don't normally do the whole unfollowing and blocking thing because a lot of people that I've met that I'm actually like, I built an either, became an acquaintance or a friend or, someone I just admired. I like to see where their life takes them. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoyed seeing, you getting married and, you finding your way, starting the podcast. Like, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. So, I wanted to be able to, I'm glad I got to see that journey for you.
Well, thank you. That's really cool. And I love to see, all the stuff that of course, not congrats on the stuff that have happened recently. We'll get to that later. But congrats on the music thing. I remember when we first met, you were talking about like writing songs and recording songs. And we were like, when's it going to happen? And it freaking happened. And you're on a couple songs and they're great. I was actually listening to them on the way in just so I could remind myself and get back in tune. And man, you're such a great singer. You're so powerful voice.
Yes. It's been a minute since I've last recorded like at least professionally record. I do still record at home. That's how I write my music. I prefer to lay it out, map it out, basically create an outline in the software that I use. I prefer Logic Pro, but I've been using FL Studios lately. But I'll do that before I go to the studio and lay it out. I like to, because first off, studio sessions are expensive as hell. I'm not about to go in there and play around and like, oh, let me try to write a song or no.
You're getting in there to get your thing done and get out. Yeah.
Exactly. So I always go to the studio prepared with something already. Now, every studio session is not my favorite. Some of them I walk out pissed. I'm like a diva in the studio. I'm not gonna lie. I don't cuss out my engineer, but I am a little bit of a diva. I will get mad if I just can't get this one note right. And I'll get pissed and I'll just be like, stop the damn track for a minute. Like, I just need a moment. Go get me a glass of wine, like anything, just to like, because sometimes, you have the idea of what you want to do in your head.
Sure.
But when you get in front of that mic and there's other people on that other side of that glass that are expecting you to execute, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah, that's really cool. How expensive is studio? I'm sure it depends on the studio.
Yes.
But like if you wanted to hop in there for an hour, is it like a few $100s?
I will say it depends on who you know.
Sure.
And it depends on how, I won't say how good they are, but who they've worked with and stuff like that. So I do have one engineer that I go to all the time. He's amazing. And I've gone to him since I first started recording for real in 2020. And he only charged me $50.
Damn.
Yeah, which is actually pretty damn good for this area.
Yeah.
He only charges me $50 because I've always gone to him. I've gone to a couple other ones, but like I've gone and never came back and I went back to him.
Sure. Sure.
I'd stick with him. But other studio sessions, I've seen them be 60 an hour. I've seen them be 70. I've seen 100 an hour. And you need a little more than an hour to make one song.
Yeah, for sure.
If you work 2 hours, you finish one song in like an hour and 15 minutes, and you still got 45 minutes left to do another song. But when you start a song, you want to finish it because that the way your voice may be sounding today, it may not sound like that when you come back. You could be sick or whatever, or sometimes my voice changes. My voice is not the same every day. Right. So yeah, studio sessions are expensive and they're time consuming.
I always wondered like if the studio business would be a good business to get into because it's like people are always going to need to do stuff like this, or people are always going to want to record music.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, like what separates like, you kind of went into it there a little bit, but like what separates a good studio from a bad studio? Is it the sound quality? Is it the staff? All of the above?
A lot of times it's the engineers. The engineers are a key part of studio sessions because they're the ones that are basically bringing your track to life. And they do pretty much what is called a pre-mix. So when you're recording, they're going to pre-mix it to make it it's like mapping it out, an outline to give you an idea of what it sounds like. But they're not going to fully mix and master it right there unless you book for that too. So it depends on how good your engineer is. And some people will bring their own engineers.
Okay.
So you can also, if you were thinking about doing it, you can have it where someone rents out the session for less and they just bring in their own engineer, or you could have them rent with an engineer.
Huh. Is it more expensive to bring your own engineer or maybe less expensive because they don't have to pay somebody on their payroll?
So I would say a lot of people who have their own engineers, their engineers kind of fuck with them. Like, you know, they fuck with them on the chart, you know, the charges and stuff like that. So it's for some people, it's probably cheaper to just do it with their own engineer. But for someone like me, I don't have my own engineer that like fucks with me like that for me to just like book without it. Because the engineer that I go to, he already has his own studio. So I just go to his.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, that's exciting. So I mean, I know that you've always wanted to do it, or I don't know about always, but since I knew you always wanted to do it. So at what point did you say, okay, I'm just going to quit talking about it and I'm going to do the damn thing?
Oh my gosh. It was 2020. I had finally broke up with my ex. I don't know if you ever met my ex.
I heard about him, but I don't think I ever met him.
He was around when you were around. Okay. He cheated on me a lot in our relationship, and I just got really fed up with it. But I was so caught up in that relationship that I wasn't really doing my music like I should have. Like I wasn't going hard. And then 2020 came around. I was fed up. I was done. I booked a studio session with my best friend, Mike. He is the one who really like inspired me. He came to me. He was like, you know what, let's do a song. And I was like, you know what? I have a song that I feel like I could hear you on that I've been working on, and it has an open verse and I don't know what to do with it. So I sent it to him, and no, I didn't even send it to him. I went to his apartment because he lived probably about a few doors down from me. So I went to his apartment. We sat, we had some wine, and we created a whole track. And we went to the studio that next week, laid it down. He had his friend Lex, you know, do the mix and master. And I forgot what the song is called. Let me look real quick.
Is it the song that you put out?
It's the song that me and Mike put out.
Is it the one where the album cover is you and him sitting like on a couch? Yes, I listened to that like maybe 20 minutes ago.
I'm so bad. He's going to get mad at me for forgetting this.
He is. Shout out to Mikey Mike.
Boy, I love you.
Because his vocals on the track are great too. I mean, you both sound amazing together.
It's like silk. He kind of reminds me a lot of.
Take a picture. That's it.
Yes, take a picture. That was the first song I really recorded and put out. That's the first song. So we did that, and right afterwards, literally, the song came out on a Friday. The next week, we had a listening party. Like Mike really was the foundation for that moment. He was like, listening party, I got a venue, just send me this, like like we were set. We had it all figured out. Yes. And after that, I knew I loved that feeling. I loved what it made me feel. I love bringing people together. You know, we had drinks, we had food. The song's called Take a Picture. We had a picture booth where we had props all over on a table where they could take pictures. It was amazing. Amazing. So I realized I love this shit. Like, I was like, damn, like if this is what this is, I want to do it forever. You know, so, that's the year that I really started going hard, and I started writing like crazy, just making songs. I will say I was still pretty amateur with my songwriting. I still got a lot of work to do. I'm not perfect. I'm not like, you know, super great, but I feel like at that time it was perfect. It was a perfect time for me to start figuring myself out. So I had another listening party that year. I had 2 listening parties that year. That's crazy. And I linked up with my girl, Aaliyah. She wanted to be my publicist. And I was like, bet, okay. So she introduced me to Woo, who is the engineer that I work with. And he is just amazing. He's amazing in the studio. Amazing. Like, he pushes me. If I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do on that part, I don't know what to do, he's like, try this, and he'll sing the note, and I'm like, I like that, I love that. So he's really good. So that's kind of what like jump started everything for me.
That's really cool. That's really cool. And I mean, when you guys, I mean, you have a release or listening party for the single, and you guys are just these small artists on this, you know, scale that is the music industry, and you're having that much fun, and you guys are just a small, you're probably sitting there thinking, you're like, damn, if this is what this listening party experience is for our first single, imagine like the listening parties for when you're, you know, at Beyonce level. It's just like, if this is as fun as it is now, I can't even imagine how much fun it is later.
Much more, you know, things that we can cover, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, did you like that aspect of it, of having the party itself?
Yeah.
Like the party planning?
Yes, that was fun. I mean, I always love bringing people together. I've always been that way. So it was nice to be able to bring people together and just to even see them come out for us. You know, 2 people who just made this song on a random Friday and was just like, hey, like, let's put this shit out on this day. Like, and it was so last minute too. The party was so last minute, and we had a big turnout. We had a huge turnout. I was in XMT on campus. My whole XMT class came.
Wow, that's amazing.
And you know, some of Mike's family and his brother was there. I don't know if I think my mom made it. I can't remember. I don't think she did. I don't know. Someone made it that was important to me. We had a few important people that were there, and that was just the beauty. It felt like a big kind of like family reunion, but like for us, like we were like because every family reunion has like a certain name that we honor. We honor a certain family member for the family reunion. So that's what it felt like. It kind of felt like that.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah. Getting people together is, I know that's how you're an entertainer, and how I know, like, I love throwing parties at the house or getting people together, just because it's like to take a step back when you're at that listening party and just to see like all of your friends and family and all of your friends' friends and friends' family and like just everybody, like, it's the best.
Meeting each other.
So cool.
It was amazing. Like, I realized that this is what I wanted to do. And I feel like a big thing for me is, even with music, even with performing and stuff like that, I do get really, really scared when it comes to performing. But I will say, like, when you start kind of building a fan base, it feels good. It feels good knowing that you have people that, admire you, and you kind of start to do it for them. And you start to kind of shape your songs around the stories that you hear they're going through and stuff like that. So I don't have like a big fan base or anything, but I have a few people that do contact me and say, like, I love your music. I'm always expecting you to drop. And,
that's awesome.
And that my music touched them in some type of way. So that's why I am this, and the rest of this year and next year, I'm going to be working on more deeper songs.
Sure.
I'm going to take away from the sexy music and dive more into actual emotional day-to-day things that people go through.
Yeah, I mean, your experiences, especially as of late, as traumatic and as horrifying as they were, I mean, you can take that energy and pour it into songwriting.
Absolutely.
And I just know there's going to be some heat coming.
Oh, absolutely. I've already started writing some songs about, the dude and everything. I have one song that I really feel like it's gonna be fire when I like really get in the studio and record it. So I'm still writing. I'm taking my time with it because I want it to make sense, and I want people to like know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. Listen to it, like they know, they can feel it. They can feel my anger and how pissed off I am.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, there's absolute heat coming, guys. So just stay tuned to that. But so I alluded in our intro that we met in college. How did we meet, Maya?
So my roommate, she was an amazing lady, amazing. I love her to death. She started dating you.
Yeah.
I think you had came over one day. I can't remember the exact day that I met you, but you had came over, and I was like, hello. It was real cool. It was real chill. And so they dated, and it was interesting.
It was interesting. Yeah. Looking back, it's like it was such a weird time because I feel like I was so immature. I mean, and we all were. I mean, we were so much. I mean, that was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Absolutely. It was before COVID for sure.
Yeah, 2018. 2018. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
We were all immature as hell. Like, I don't remember a lot from that era because I was either high or drunk as fuck. Like, I don't remember everything from that year. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's how I met you. And I think that I saw you a few times actually. And I remember you'd be chilling in the living room, drinking and smoking.
And you got kind of like you said, bringing people together. I mean, you always had people over.
Always.
People were always like hanging around. Because didn't you guys have in that apartment, you guys in your kitchen, you had like a big center island and people would just be gathered around them? Yes. Dude, it was fun, man.
It was so fun. Oh my God. We would have such great smoke sessions. Back when I used to smoke, I don't dabble in it no more. Yeah. But, oh my God. I always had people over from my hometown and like new friends that I made. I don't know if you remember Sydney.
I do remember Sydney. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I used to have her over a lot too.
You know what's funny too is every time I see you pop up on my Instagram or I think of your name or something, I remember because at that time that song came out by Don't Come Out the House, 21 Savage. Yeah. And he says, look like Maya, she's on fire. Because I remember like when that song came out, you were like obsessed with that lyric. And so anytime I see you pop up on Instagram, I'm like, look like Maya, she's on fire.
For my birthday, we were coming back from Lenox Mall and I was blasting that shit in the car.
Hell yeah.
Like, bitch, it's my day. Hell
yeah. Look like Maya, she's on fire.
It is.
Damn. Yeah. That's really cool. But yeah, I mean, it's cool that we stayed in contact kind of. I mean, we haven't like talked, but I mean, like we were saying before is like, I've seen you post your stuff. You've seen me post my stuff. And it's like, hey, what's up? Or, hey, how are you doing? Every once in a while. But then like, and when you were doing the music thing, I was like, oh, I got to get her on the show. But then like when I saw the shit that we can dive into here in a second, the bullshit, I was like, oh, I'm going to give her some time.
Yeah.
But once things kind of like transition, like a couple months later or so, I was like, I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
I was like,
absolutely. I feel like, even though it's a really tough situation and it's not fun to talk about, it's like healing though. I will say that it's healing, because there's a saying that I saw that abusers are protected by the silence of their victims. So I have no problem talking about it. It's one of those, like, it is difficult. It's difficult. I barely talk to my parents about it. I'm staying with them right now. I had to move back home after the situation.
Sure.
And I don't really talk to them about it. I talk to my therapist though. I talk her down.
I bet she's heard it all.
Oh yeah, she's very much like, girl, like, because when she sees I start to blame myself, she's like, girl, he's in that situation because of him. If he didn't do this, he wouldn't be in there. So,
Well, since we're skirting around it a little bit, I'm just going to go ahead and, I mean, if at any point I ask you something and you absolutely do not want to answer, since even though we're like doing this whole thing, you can just be like, I don't want to talk about that, and I'll just move on. So like, were y'all together? Like,
yes.
So this was a relationship? Okay.
Technically, we were kind of at the tail end of it because I was fed up with this bullshit. And so we were like, he lived with me. So we were still like sleeping together in the same bed.
Sure.
But like, he knew that our relationship was coming to an end.
Sure. You all, I mean, everybody knows when a relationship is like dying. Yeah. And it's like, we can try our best to like fake through it. But it's like at the same time, it's so much easier said than done of like, oh, well, we'll just end it. Cause like, but then like you get back to that person. And even though shit might suck a little bit, it's still like your person. Yeah. So it's really hard to just up and end a relationship.
I tried to end it a lot towards the tail end of it. Like, I mean, I broke up with him probably about 3 or 4 times. And it wasn't even just like, I went back to him. No, it was he would do certain things that would make me kind of scared to leave. Like, and I had to find my way of my plan to get away from him was that when the lease ended, I was going to move back home to my parents for a few weeks. And I wasn't going to tell him that I moved into a different place because I didn't want him to know where I lived and all of that stuff. Like, I was scared, bro.
So I guess for lack of a better way of asking, what happened?
So I guess I can explain it in the best way possible. I'm trying to make it short. Basically, one night he came home. This was September 19th. He came home super drunk, and off some drugs. He was hanging at his cousin's house or something. I knew where he was. Came home. I saw his location while he was driving home. I went to sleep. This was around 11. And then I was woken up around 12 or maybe 1, about 1 o'clock. No, 2. It was 2. And I had a text from my best friend, like, what the fuck? Like, oh my gosh. And he comes, my ex, comes bursting through the door, falling all over the place. All over the place. I mean, knocking shit everywhere. And he falls on top of me, which basically instantly completely wakes me up. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And so he basically wants to have sex. I didn't want to. Long story short, I didn't want to. And I told him no, like 4 or 5 times. And that's when he snapped and he grabbed my computer that was laying next to my feet, smashed it on the ground. He stormed out of the room. I went up and grabbed my computer. I went out there and he was punching and kicking my TV. Like, I mean, I just bought that TV last year. He was punching and kicking it and threw it all over the place. Then I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing? And I'm like, you broke my laptop. He said, he looked at me, came at me and was like, I don't give a fuck. Grabbed the laptop out my hand, smashed it on the ground again. He grabbed me by my shoulders, threw me into the wall, and I fell. And that's like, he threw me in there hard. Like, my back is still fucked up from that. And so I left the house. That's the moment I left the house. And then I was like, I don't have my phone. I didn't know where to go. My friend no longer lived next door across the hall. She no longer lived next door. So I was like, I don't know, where the fuck am I going to go? I don't have a car. Like, what do I do? So I had to go back in. I went back in, get my phone. When I came back in, he was in the room where my phone was, kicking, like he was trying to rip my TV off the wall. It was mounted in my bedroom. He was trying to rip it off the wall. He ripped the TV off, but he couldn't rip the mount off. Right. So the TV was all over the floor. Then he chased me back in the living room. And my friend at that point started getting up because he saw him. He threw me back at the wall again. And then he was trying to throw my bar card at me, this big, heavy ass bar card I had. He missed. But he was throwing all types of other shit at me, picture frames, mirrors, everything. And then my best friend got in front of me when he threw me on the ground again. And he got in front of me, was basically trying to hide, like cover me and tell him to stop. And I'm looking at him, telling him to stop. I'm screaming like, please stop, stop. It's okay, relax. And that's when he just started stomping on my face. And like, it was like I was facing him with that first hit. So I think that first hit is what knocked my tooth out because I was facing him. But then I turned obviously to like cover myself, and that's when he started stomping on this side, and he damaged an artery in my neck. So I couldn't swallow for a few days. And you could hear I have a video of it too. You could hear my head hitting the wall, and you could hear me screaming, ow, 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 over and over and over again. I'm trying not to cry. And my best friend was screaming at my roommate because she was in her room. She was scared to come out her room, was screaming for her to call the police. And then that's when he finally left the house, when he said police. And then I was like, we didn't know what to do at the moment, but I was like, lock the door. That was like the first thing that came to my mind. I said, lock that door because he's not in here anymore. I said, lock both locks. At this point, I didn't know that my tooth was gone. I didn't know that I was bleeding. I just know that I was shaking, and I needed to get to the room and get my phone. So I was like, I need to go to the room. So we both went to the room. I went to the bathroom and I looked at myself and I just fell to the floor. Like at that point, my adrenaline, it was still going, but when I saw my face, there's not much I could have done to keep myself up. And I was like struggling to call the police. First, I was going to call my dad, but then we heard him trying to get back in. He was banging. He was trying to kick the door in. He was trying to kick my window in, my bedroom window, to get in. So that's when I called the cops. I wasn't even going to call the cops on him. I wasn't. But I was gonna call my dad, which he's lucky I got the cops instead of my dad.
Yeah.
But
Your dad would have been in jail.
My dad, I would have never seen my dad again. The cops came pretty quickly, like probably about 3-5 minutes. But when they were banging on the door, I told them, to my roommate, I said, do not open that door yet. Like, cause she was about to open the door without checking the people. I'm like, girl, no, we need to confirm that's the cops first. Right. Yeah. Even though they're saying that's them on the phone, hell no, I'm not opening that door. Ain't no telling if they're at the wrong house or what. So I told her, look out the door. She was like, it's them. Okay. So she opened the door, and at this point I'm back standing up, and they're asking me all these damn questions, and I just started getting super fucking dizzy. Like, cause once I saw them, it was like a part of me just like started kind of relax in a way. I still, adrenaline was up, but like I felt safer. So I'm just like, and I'm like trying to explain everything to them, and I just get dizzy and I fall to the floor again. And I threw up outside my door, threw up blood. Cause like I said, he damaged that artery in my neck. And, of course, I'm a funny person when it comes to trauma. I've gone through so much trauma. At this point, I kind of make jokes.
You have to almost.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like my coping mechanism. So they're like, do you know where the tooth is? I'm like, no, da, da, da. And then like, they're trying to like, help me out. They gave me a throw up bag and everything. And I looked down and I said, what the fuck? Is that my fucking tooth? Is that shit right there? And they started giggling. They were like, yeah. Yes, ma'am, that's your tooth. And I'm like, oh yeah, can you grab that for me? Like, please. I want to see if they can put that shit back in. Honey, I had them giggling in the ambulance ride all the way to the hospital. Like I know they probably were like, this bitch is crazy. Like, she just got her ass beat and she's in here making jokes. Like, yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for telling me that. That was really powerful. It almost made me want to get emotional too. Yeah. It's really hard to hear.
Felt like a horror movie, honestly. That's what me and my best friend Jasmine talk about. It was the scariest experience I've ever had. I thought I was going to die that night.
I was going to say, did it feel like you were going to die?
Yes. I didn't know. That's why I didn't know what was about to happen. That's why I called the cops. I didn't know what was about to happen. Like, he hated me that night. He was not himself. Like, I wasn't me in his eyes that night. I was just somebody that he hated, so that shit, I'm just happy that like I'm here,
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so the cops show up. You're picking up your tooth off the floor. You're cracking jokes in the ambulance. Then what? Where's he at this point?
Oh, he's in jail. He's still there now.
Okay.
So he's in jail. My mom and dad come up here to meet me at the hospital. I was actually at Kennestone. They came up here to meet me at the hospital, and I'll never forget the look on my mom's face when she saw me. I mean, I was battered up. I couldn't walk straight because, he fucked my back up real bad. Face swollen. You saw the pictures, just bruised up. It looked like I was if you just popped one of the bruises in my mouth, blood would have just started pouring out. Like, it's bad. and they took me back to my house. Well, they took me to Walmart first to get some things. I stayed in the car, obviously. I had to get my medicine, but they took me home. And no, actually, that's not what happened. That's a totally different day.
I can't imagine.
Okay.
Did you have a concussion?
Thank God I didn't. I just had, so my only injuries was I have a fractured jaw. It's still fractured right here. And then obviously the tooth, he ripped out my tooth. I have a fake one in now. It's like a whole retainer. And this one part is like, it looks like a tooth.
Okay.
And then obviously the neck injury, and then my back. That's all I have, which is I'm thankful for. I'm glad it's just that and it wasn't anything worse.
Yeah.
Even though that's already terrible as is, but like I'm just grateful that I'm not like, he didn't damage something in my neck or my spine that
could have paralyzed you.
Yeah. So, even though I do have the occasional back pain, like I'm doing my stretches and stuff, and I'm back in the gym, just trying to get more active again. So, cause I notice it hurts more when like I've been like relaxing a lot more, like sitting too much. So I'm trying to get back active.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrifying. I'm just like thinking about like your mom.
Oh my God.
And her reaction, or your parents.
It's okay. It's okay.
I mean, I know, but it's just hard to hear. And you know what's crazy too is like seeing you posted the selfie or a picture of yourself on Instagram on your story.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it. It might have been like late at night or something, but I remember like being half asleep, like looking at my, my socials and stuff. And I like sat straight up and I go, holy shit.
Yeah.
And my wife is like, what's wrong? And I was like, this girl that I know, it looks like she got like into a horrible accident or something. But I think you said something in like, be careful who you're with or something like that. I
said, never take a man back.
That's it. That's what you said. And I said, holy shit, I think she might have like gotten hit and shit. She's like, who is this girl? And I was like, it's a long story, but either way, like she's a friend.
Yeah.
And God, I just got chills. I'm so sorry that happened to you. It's so terrifying.
I know it is. And I will say, like, I am I'm going to use this term very lightly. I am in a better place than I was then. But don't get it twisted. I'm still pretty fucked up in the head.
Sure.
I will say, like, the aftermath of the hardest part is hating someone that you still love and you still care about and you still hope that they're okay. And even
do you feel that way?
Yes.
Still?
Yes. I mean, I still love him. I never want to see him again. Never want to hear his voice again. Never want to talk to him again, but I still love him, and I miss who I thought he was.
Yeah.
I miss the person I thought he was. I don't miss him now though. And I will say that it was hard at first. I wasn't going to be cooperative with the police and the DA and everything. I wasn't going to, because I was like, is this just a bad day? Like, because mind you, this is not the first pretty fucking bad day. Mind you, this is not the first time he put his hands on me. Just the worst time he put his hand on me. So at first I was like, he ain't never did something like that to me. Like, that was fucking brutal. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, he's coked out, all types of shit. Like,
it felt like when you were talking about it, like I was literally, like you said, a horror movie. I was like, I was playing the entire scene in my head as you're telling the story. I could picture I could see him like ripping the TV off the wall. I mean,
I felt like I was in Scream.
I don't even know what I would have done. Just frozen.
That's what it was. Like, I mean, a lot of people at the aftermath, a lot of my friends, they had a lot to say about like, the people that were there and that when that happened. And they were like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you hit him with a lamp on his head or some shit like that? And it's like, I get it. But what do you do in that moment when a person is fucking crazy, acting crazy as shit, and is beating on this woman, this poor little girl? Like, you're a
little ass woman. I'm picturing. I don't know what this dude looks like, but I'm picturing he's at least twice your size.
6 foot and 170 pounds. I think
he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a huge dude. So like,
and you have to be a big ass. First of all, you have to be a big ass dude to pull a TV off a wall.
TV off a wall. Yes, like I mean, dude was tweaking. He was drugged and alcoholed out that night. So I was thinking, like, okay, maybe like at the moment, this is what obviously a lot of abuse victims go through. That denial stage. I was going through that denial stage of like, there's no way. Like, he just had a bad night. Like, he just needs to stop doing like, drinking. So I did talk to him the first couple days, like the first few days.
What was that first conversation like?
Pissed. I was mad as fuck, and he was crying like, what did I do? What happened? He didn't remember anything. Well, so he says.
Right.
So he says, you got to take what he says lightly because he does like to lie. So I was like, I told him everything that fucking happened. I told him everything. And he started crying. He was like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Like, what the fuck? And he was like, he gave me a name of where he got the drugs from. And it's some lady that lived below us. Right. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why would you do that shit? So, like, you don't know if this lady on fat or anything. You don't know what type of drugs that she has. You don't know if she gets her shit laced.
I was going to say, what if it was laced with some adrenaline boosting?
Cocaine, amphetamines. Plus, he was downing a bottle of alcohol.
Yeah, you can't mix those.
No, he's lucky he didn't fucking die.
Yeah, his heart could have beat so fast it could have popped out of his chest.
So I'm like, I don't know. That was just crazy. We talked a few times, but then I was just like, every part of me, even still while I was talking to him, everything in my spirit was saying, you need to tell him that you can never talk to him again. Like, and I was telling my best friend that every day. You can even ask shots. He would be like, are you ready yet? And I'm like, I don't know yet. And then his ex reached out to me. I thank God for her. She's so sweet. We didn't always have good see eye to eye, but she's a really sweet person. We talked on the phone for a good hour and some change, like a long time. She told me everything that he did to her, like everything. And I'm not going to tell her story because her story is her story. But that is what he called me that next day. And I told him I never want to talk to you ever the fuck again. Ever.
And when he's calling you, is he calling you from jail?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I told him, I was like, I never want to talk to you again. Because I already told him before, like, I don't want to really talk to you. Like, please don't call me every day and everything like that. I was like, if you have to call me to, like, if you just are having a bad day or something, like, okay. But like, I don't want to be calling me. I don't want to talk to you. Then, of course, I heard that story. I talked to her and I was like, yo, you're fucking evil. You're evil. You're evil. I was like, I can't. No. I told him never talk to me again. And he has respected that.
Wow.
He's respected that. And he knows that I think he knows that I put his stuff on the internet. And I wasn't, what's crazy?
As in like put his stuff like as in like you're telling the story. Yeah.
And the thing is, I wasn't going to for a while because I wasn't ready for people to necessarily know who did it to me. And because also I was still trying to, I'm a people pleaser. I don't like people looking at me like I'm a problem. And I know that once I open that door up for people to have opinions and to rewrite my story, I knew that could be a possibility. And so I was like holding back on it. But then his ex, she posted it and she posted like her side of the story. And, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to do it too. Like, I'm going to do it right now with her because I want people to know she's not lying. Like, this is very fucking true. Yes. Like this man is a fucking nuisance. Like, he's a danger to society. If you look at his, like, even the judge said that. The judge was like, since 2020, you have been to jail 9 fucking times. So, that was, I went to the preliminary hearing. So yeah, that was just something that made me finally be like, okay, I'm done.
So you saw him one time?
Yeah, one time at the hearing.
But
I was all the way in the back. Yeah. I did not want to be seen. Sure. I just looked down at my phone so fucking quick. I said, hell no, I'm not here. Shit. Yeah. Me and my best friend, we were all black. Like, we were like incognito in there. We were not trying to, hell no.
No. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And now he's in jail?
And just block my name out. I don't want nobody knowing my real name.
Yeah, sure.
Just beat that.
I will.
But yeah, so and yeah, I'm my Lańet to y'all, okay? So yeah, he's back. He's in jail. He's probably going to go to prison because he also was on probation in Cherokee County. So he's in Cobb, but he's probably, even if he gets bail in Cobb, they're going to switch him to Cherokee because he's still on probation there. He's going to be there for a while.
I'd hope so.
Yeah, me too. Oh, me too. Like, and thank God, like, I'm not living in that apartment anymore. Like, no. So even if he did get out,
was it close to here? Where was the apartment?
It was.
Was it in Kennesaw?
Yeah, in Marietta. Marietta, Kennesaw, kind of like right off of Barrett Parkway.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So. Wow, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And that friend, shout out to that guy.
I know. Yes, he did his best. He did his best. I mean, that was his close friend too. So we both are going through it because, like, not only did we lose, like, we both lost a best friend. Like, I lost someone that, like, I was with too. Like, and even though we were in the stage of breaking up, like, I was still willing to one day try again. I was willing to try again one day. But the reality of abuse is that it slowly creeps up and it starts off small. And it started off small. Back in June, he had hit me. And I don't think it was 100% intentional. Regardless, tackling me on the bed and like kind of place like pushing your hand on my mouth, and like you hit me with the palm of your hand, and it caused a knot in my chin. And I just remember wanting to like call my mom that night, but I was like, no, like, you know, I knew I was going to stay with him. So I didn't really tell anybody about that. Like I told 2 of my friends know about it. I went to the Megan Thee Stallion concert with them afterwards, and they like kind of helped me feel better. Gave me like, they let me wear some of their clothes and stuff, so like feel cute and everything. And like they did their thing. They were there for me that day too.
That's amazing. Yeah. It's in times like that that the people around you, like people show up for you, but then the people who are really there for you show up in times like that.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
It's like in moments like that, people that visit you at the hospital, people who come to your aid when shit like that is going down. It's like you have to almost take a step back again and think like, okay, these people, this is my chosen family. They might not be real blood family, but they are my chosen family.
It makes you want better for yourself.
Exactly.
Having friends that are there that's showing you don't deserve that, it makes you look at yourself like, damn, why are you putting yourself, you have these people that love you down and want you here, and you're letting someone like threaten your life. And you know, so the man is something else. I don't know what he is. I think that he might be a sociopath. But when I broke up with him back in August, I wasn't home when I broke up with him. I was at my friend's house, the one that was there after he had hit me back in June.
Sure.
This was in August. I was at my friend's house, and I told him he needed to leave my house and get all his shit and go. And his friend had called him and was like, you need to leave. Do not crash out. Like, don't do no crash out, dumb shit. Like, no one needs to, we're not trying to wake up to you in jail. So he left. And so I'm like, I go home, I'm thinking everything's sweet. I go to sleep, wake up in the morning, I go to brush my teeth, and I'm on the phone with my homegirls. I go to brush my teeth. My mouth starts swelling up, and I'm starting to break out in hives. And throat start itching. I'm deathly allergic to peanut butter. And my roommate has peanut butter, and they had peanut butter in the pantry. And he put peanut butter on my toothbrush, and he admitted it on the phone. Yeah, I was stupid for even allowing him to come back, but he was threatening to off himself if I didn't take him back. So I was just like, okay, come back, but you're sleeping on the couch. So
he put peanut butter on your toothbrush.
And I don't have an EpiPen. The only thing that's
so what'd you do?
I had Zyrtec.
Okay.
Which is only does so much.
Right.
Luckily, I didn't go into anaphylactic shock, so I feel like the Zyrtec was okay.
Like chilled it out a little bit.
Yeah, but my friends were on the way to take me to the hospital, but I was like, hold on, let me just see how the Zyrtec reacts. And I'm not gonna, because I didn't want a damn hospital bill for no reason. So it chilled me out for a little bit. But my eczema has been terrible since.
Really?
It's terrible. Terrible. Oh, I'm still dealing with the aftermath of that too. The dude is he just be going around traumatizing these girls, and then he goes to jail and he gets out, and then all his friends are like, woohoo, you're out. Let's go celebrate. Let's go get you drunk again, even though that's the reason why you beat up bitches. And then then the cycle starts all over again.
How do you be friends with someone like that?
Oh,
for his buddies to just...
He lies. And they believe him. Because he lied to me. He lies. I was the person that believed him. I don't fully blame them because he's a good fucking liar. He's a good liar. He lies.
Just a master manipulator.
Very much so. And it'll keep happening. And it'll keep happening.
He'll get out eventually and he'll meet a girl.
He dies. Until femicide happens.
What's femicide?
The murder of a woman.
Okay.
By an intimate partner.
Is patricide the murder of a man?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to say, I've heard patricide. I've never heard femicide.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. That's insane. Thank you so much for doing that and telling me that. Mm-hmm. For you to tell me before we recorded that you haven't told many people the full story before.
Yeah.
And that
not the actual story. That something happened.
So I'm truly honored that you chose to do that today. That was really powerful. I'm going to think about this for a long time. Yeah,
it's rough. I will say, I'm in a better place now. I'm safe at home with my parents.
Sure.
And I felt once I left my house, it was like a big weight was off my shoulder because, my dad's military, I feel safe being there. I know nobody's going to try to pull up to my daddy's house because good luck with that. But good luck with that.
Dad's going to come out and
Yeah. So, and then, of course, I still have a lot of recovery Like this fake tooth is, I hate it.
You take it out at night and stuff?
A lot. I barely wear it. The only time I wear it is when I'm out with like, my friends. Sometimes I don't even wear it. Depends. If we just going to the store or something, I'm not putting it in.
No, I
Going out, I don't put it in.
Yeah.
But I have to take it out when I eat. So it's really, yeah, going to the, the dinner table at a restaurant, and then you got the tooth in there greeting you. You're like, yeah, can I get this drink? Then you go to the bathroom and take your tooth out, rinse it and everything, and then you go back to the table, and then the server comes back up, and now you snaggle tooth. It's weird.
How does it stick in? Is it like
like a retainer? It's like a whole retainer. I don't know why they didn't just give me like a flipper.
I was gonna say
it probably would have been more.
So it's a whole ass piece, and then it's just got the tooth on the one spot. And so when you put it in, it just slides into place. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And it's uncomfortable as hell. I'm not gonna lie. After a while, it gets very uncomfortable, and I just take it out.
Does it like affect the way you talk at all? Really?
Yeah, and the way like even doing photos and stuff, it kind of gives me a lisp sometimes.
Really?
And even doing photo shoots and everything, I don't know exactly how to place my mouth.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I got this big ass damn like Halloween store teeth in my fucking mouth, So it's weird.
So are they going to be? Do you have the tooth?
No, I lost it. They can't put it back in anyway. So.
Damn. So is that your reality?
Not right now. Right now it is, yes. But I have to get the permanent one. They're basically going to have to do is put a screw in. Ugh. That's got to take like 3 months to heal.
Jesus.
And the bone to form around it. And then they're going to put in the actual implant.
Wow.
And it's going to be expensive. But if anybody is listening and they are a victim of domestic violence and they suffer any injuries from it, go to the Georgia Crimes Online Victim Compensation website. So you can sign up and you have to have a police report though.
Sure.
Have to have a police report. Make sure you have you talk to your DA advocate. Most of the time you have a DA advocate when you go through something like this. And they can either do the application for you, or if they feel comfortable sending over your police report, and they'll do it. You could do it on your end. But you can get up to $15,000 in medical coverage reimbursement, and up to, I think it was like $4,000 for the therapy and wellness that you're going to need afterwards.
That's a great resource. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I'll make sure to link that in the description of the episode so people can go to that. That's really cool. It's one of those things where like you see online, you'll see like you never know how many resources there are out there unless you go and look for them. So that's awesome to hear. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on my application, but my DA advocate said that it's going to get approved. So I'm just waiting for them to approve it. It takes about 30 days. Mm. And then once it's approved, I can start getting reimbursed for stuff like this that I paid for. I spent like $480 something on this damn thing, and I don't even like it. And like all the other stuff, the hospital bills, because I think my hospital bill was like $989. So, but I think that was before insurance. So I'm having them run it again because I'm like, excuse me, $989 is crazy. So
yeah, hell yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but it's not too crazy because I did have to get 2 CT scans done and like all types of other stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's crazy that you have to be in the position to have to do all that shit anyway.
Literally, and that's a big thing too that my therapist has been telling me. Because I keep having to catch myself saying like, well, if I would have done this differently, right. What if he's upset that I outed him? What if his family's upset? Like, what if his friends don't like me because of it and all of that type of stuff? And my therapist is like, girl, you're overthinking too much. You're spiraling. And she was like, he would not be in that situation if he did not do it to you.
Correct.
If he didn't do it, he'd be out. So
if he didn't do it, you wouldn't be wearing that tooth.
Exactly. If anybody is pissed about me being vocal about it,
fuck them.
Fuck them. So that's what I've been thinking lately. I've been like, fuck them. I don't care. I'm not the one sitting in jail because I beat somebody's ass. Y'all friend is sitting in jail. I don't got no friends sitting in jail for whooping another woman's ass. I don't have to go through that. That's on y'all. So.
That's probably the most powerful story I've heard on this show before.
Yeah. I'm glad this is the first place I can share it.
I'm honored that you said yes. I mean, we did this pretty quick. Yeah. I mean, when I saw you post something, like I think it was last weekend, I was like, we should do this thing. Yeah. We should do it.
In town next week.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So it just worked. Well, I know we just talked about all that serious stuff, but in every conversation I have, Maya, I ask every guest the same collection of like fun first date questions. They're all very easy. There's a couple deep ones, but for the most part, they're just kind of fun, jovial questions. What's your favorite movie? Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about the company that makes your morning drive happen every week. Are you looking to elevate your business and your brand? Hammerhead Creations is here to help. They offer top-tier marketing services, including social media management, website design, and Google page optimization, ensuring your business reaches the right audience. Whether it's a side hustle or your full-time grind, their expert team, me, is ready to help you grow. Plus, if you're into podcasting like me, Hammerhead Creations offers full support for both in-house shows and external podcast creation. From concept to production, we will help you bring your ideas to life. Visit www.hammerheadcreations.com and discover how we can take your business or your podcast or both to the next level. Hammerhead Creations, swim with the big sharks.
Well, see, that ain't easy. That one ain't easy because I'm a movie watcher. But I will say I am a big fan of the Scream franchise.
Yeah,
I can rewatch those movies over and over and over again.
Hell yeah. Scream is awesome.
Yeah, my mom is a big fan too, so I think that's where I get it from.
Heck yeah. What was your first job ever?
Kroger. I was a courtesy clerk.
Hey.
Yeah, did not like that. I was there for like 3 or 4 months, and I said, "Yeah, I turned 60, and I said I'm out of here, bye." Because they was trying to get me to do more hours. I said, "Y'all got me fucked up. I'm not doing that shit. Hell no."
Boy, rank these 3 things in order of your favorite to your least favorite.
Okay.
Queso, guac, and salsa.
Queso. Which one is the greatest?
The first one you say is your favorite.
Okay, queso is my favorite, salsa second, and guac at least.
I'm not a guac guy.
I don't like guac.
That's my exact answer too. Yeah. Queso, guac, or queso, salsa, then guac.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't like it.
I'm a texture person.
Salsa, I might put that as favorite, you know. But if it's just standard salsa, put that in the middle.
All right, I got you. If you found out, Maya, that tomorrow was your last day on Earth, tonight, what would your last meal be?
I'd probably have a big ass bag of crab legs, sausage, hella corn. I need like 10 pieces of corn, and then a nice ribeye steak, medium.
You get to organize a music festival, Maya. You are organizing it for you. So who are the 3 headliners you're picking?
Oh, definitely Beyonce. That's my girl. I love me some B. And I would say Brent Faiyaz. And I need Justin Jamal Bieber. Not Justin Bieber, but Justin Jamal Bieber. I need Journals Bieber.
Okay.
That's the Bieber I need.
All right.
Not
right.
Purpose.
Not
Bieber.
Biebs.
Yeah, not the Biebs. No.
On a day that you're not working or dealing with this shit or, doing anything, how do you take care of yourself? What's a self-care day look like for you?
I'm playing the game. I've been playing Stranded Deep lately. So when I'm done working, I'm done, gym and all of that, I will do my skincare, my Korean skincare, and I'll just sit up and play Stranded Deep. It's basically a game where you have to figure out.
Island survival game?
Survive on the island, yeah.
Huh.
It's so freaking fun.
You like it?
Yes, and it's even more fun playing with somebody. Even more fun.
All right, bet. What do you play on?
PS5.
Have you? I'm on the PS5 game club.
I love playing the PS5. I never used to really be a gamer, but now I'm playing all types of different games. I just started The Last of Us.
That's good.
Oh my God, it's stressful.
It's good shit. It's stressful.
Stream because
you should stream. That'd be cool.
Because I'm being there cussing what the fuck is that? But why is that thing tweaking?
You see the thing in the corner. Yeah. Play the game. You should watch the show.
I am watching the show.
Oh hell yeah, good stuff.
Because I feel like I can see the key differences in both environments.
Oh yeah, once you get those clickers.
I hate them things so much. Man. Honestly, success to me is when you find joy in life, not happiness, but joy. That's success to me. When you find joy and keep it, because a lot of people think success is like, okay, you got this, you might reach this part of your career, or you reached 100,000 followers on Instagram or something like that, and those are all rightful choices.
Sure.
But for me, joy, when I find joy, I know I'm successful.
I like that a lot. What is something that very little people know about you?
Oh, well, I'm from Indiana, and I'm bisexual.
Really?
Yeah.
Sexual?
A lot of people don't know because I'm super feminine, but yeah,
really?
I actually like girls more than guys. If I could date all the girls in the world, I would.
Really? Have you always been bisexual?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I knew I liked girls when I was like 5. Yeah, like I told my mom at like 8, I was like, girl, I like girls. And she was like, I'm sure this is just a phase. You know, my mama, she was a trooper.
Sure.
But then I realized I do kind of like boys too. Like the first human being I liked was a girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
What is something, you'll make jokes, you laugh, whatever. But what's something that you draw the line at? Like if I made a joke about something, when would you be like, hell no?
Ooh, the dead, honestly. Making jokes like about like people in my family or whatever, like or like about my best friend that passed away in 2022, like that's the shit that like I have to chin check you for. You know, not you, but like if it was
if someone's dropping like jokes and they're just like, you're
like that's an automatic cutoff, like that you're going too far.
You're like, nah, man, we're done there. That's just dead.
But it depends on who's doing it. Like if it's my close friends, I'm cool with like we could joke, we could make certain jokes, but you gotta read the room first.
For sure.
Read the room.
For sure. But like if you're a dude that your buddy brought that I don't even know you and you're making a joke about like my family or something, it's like, okay.
Or my trauma. I'm just like, okay, that's fighting words. Are you trying to fight? Like what are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. And then lastly, what's your biggest fear?
Ooh. Failing and letting the devil win. That's my biggest fear.
I like it a lot. It's true. Because I also fear failing. Yeah. Because that's terrifying.
Yeah. The devil is be out here trying to be in your head telling you don't do this, don't do that, and makes you overthink, makes your mind wander, and stress. So that's what I'm scared of, letting him overtake my mind. So I pray.
Well, he's tried.
Yeah. Oh, he's tried multiple times. Multiple times. I should not be here, but I am because God is on my side. That's all that matters to me. That's the one thing that's keeping me going is God.
Love it. I love that. Mm-hmm. Now, I will give you the chance to promote anything you want to promote.
Oh, gosh.
If you want to shout out anything, if you want to give light to this or that, or promote your music or, anything or everything and everything, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I don't necessarily have any music to promote right now because I have been more in the back end before I come back out to the light. But I do want to say shout out to my friends and my family. I do love y'all so much. Mike, AJ, Jasmar, Keela, Destiny, shit, the list can go on. Kari. I got a whole bunch of y'all. Honey, I'm sorry if you weren't named, but I love you regardless. I just want to say thank y'all so much. And my family, of course, my mom and dad, aunts, uncles, TTs, Meemaw. I just love y'all. And I appreciate y'all. Oh, and Jawan and Jerisha and Zakai. I love you guys. Y'all are my everything. Y'all are the reason why I keep going. And of course, God too. I want to say shout out God because I don't know where I would be without you. And I feel like the book of Job changed my life and made me started looking at hardships and struggles differently. So yeah, that's all I got. Yeah.
Maya, thank you so much. Like I can't echo it enough for turning around and us doing this so quickly, but then also like being vulnerable and like we don't know each other super duper well, but now I feel like I have such more insight on who you are and how you think, and I'm really appreciative of it, and I really truly value the fact that you told me all of that. So I really do thank you.
It's nerve-wracking sharing that stuff. It is because I mean, it's more embarrassing to actually say out loud that you stayed with someone that you knew showed signs of anger and violence. So, sharing it is rough.
Well, you were physically assaulted, but I think you were also, and you know this, of course, but you were mentally assaulted as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, he was saying things to you that I've heard also in previous relationships of, if you leave, this will happen. If you leave, this will happen. And it's traumatizing and it strikes fear into you. Absolutely. And of course you don't want that to happen to that person, but it's so much easier said than done when you're in the shoes of that person. So, but I'm happy you're on the other side of it, that you're growing and you're learning from it. And
I'm going back to school.
Excited, so I'm just
focusing on me.
Excited for the future of Maya Lańet.
Hopefully, I'll be where I want to be in, the next year. And that's just sane. I just want to be sane.
You and me both.
I just want to be normal for once.
Guys, I'll make sure to throw those resources in the description of the episode so that if you, again, or somebody is going through some stuff and they need extra help or just someone to talk to, they have easy access that you could click on the link. It'll take you to the place, and then you could share the link with them, or share this episode with them. Someone might find some real value in hearing the story of another survivor and someone who's been through it. So hopefully someone finds some good, helpful insight on how to prevail from this. So
Absolutely.
Thanks for that. Guys, again, like I said at the top, make sure you're subscribed wherever you're listening to this episode right now. Make sure you send this to one friend or family member, someone you know in your life that needs to hear this conversation. And most of all, we'll see you guys next time. We appreciate you being here.
Thank God for having me.
Take care.